Hey everybody, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Abe Studios, back with another vlog. Today's vlog is number 5, got the 5th of the year with the first week in March, and we're at the top. I hope everyone's off to a positive and productive week. I know I always say that, but I do really mean it. I really hope that your Monday is a pleasant one and that you start the week with the tone that you can carry out through the rest of the week. That's just kind of the way I see it. That's the way I enjoy to do it as well. Start the week off strong so that you can have your Tuesday, your Wednesday, your Thursday, your Friday, and then your weekend. Starting off the week, like I said, I mentioned, is the first week in March. For me, March usually kind of gets me ready for the spring. One of the first things that kind of really happens is March Madness. College basketball starts really heating up. The tournament's right around the corner. As long as I can remember, I've always looked forward to March. Partly because, again, getting you in the spring fever. And then it's also March Madness, excitement for the basketball, buzzer beaters, overtime games, all of that. So now that I have my month planned out, my month of March planned out for the things that I want to try to do, one of the things that kind of happened to me this past week that kind of, took me for a loop. For those of you who follow what I'm doing, I do some writing posts that I do. I usually post it on, I believe it's Wednesday. I post on Wednesday, and they're just writings that I've kind of built up over the years. A lot of them came out of writing prompts, 30-day writing prompts, 30-day challenges, and they give you a prompt what to write about, kind of maybe either one word, maybe a little sentence, maybe just a little blurb, and then you take that and you run with it and write something up. It doesn't matter how long or how short it is, just because it's just a matter of you write something about it and you do it every single day of the month. The writing that I posted this past Wednesday was one of those, and it was maybe a little more personal than posts I've done in the past. I'm sure the prompt kind of triggered that, and just to kind of get myself up this routine of writing, coming up with an idea, writing it, rewriting it, and then posting it, just to kind of see what happens, or if people like it, or get some kind of feedback. And this one kind of happened to get a lot more feedback than I am used to. Let's just say that this guy got a lot more feedback than I'm used to, and a lot of comments. And like I said, it was a little more personal, so maybe that kind of had an effect on people as they read it. Because usually when I post it, I don't really think about too much other than that. I just kind of want to be in the mindset that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it and get it done. And if I get feedback, great. If I don't get any feedback, I'm not going to feel bad about it. Early on, that was an issue because I was like,
oh, why ain't anybody looking at it? Why isn't anybody liking it? And that kind of thing.
But like I said, usually I'll post it and just not think about it anymore. Because like I said, the thing that I have been doing before is I would post it expecting people to kind of comment on it or read it and then either like it or tell me what's good or not good or bad about it. But that wasn't happening. And so I was kind of getting a little anxious about it. Something that I was actually feeling and actually going through or had gone through. And it was called The Perfect Day. And it was a write-up about me having had 20 plus years of a spinal cord injury and where I wanted it, or where I thought my life could go, The prompt obviously was write your perfect day. That's kind of what the prompt was. Write what your perfect day would be like. And so I was kind of stuck in a situation where I had this imagination of what my perfect day could be, what I'm saying? But my ultimate perfect day would be that I'm up and walking, right? So I didn't write that story, but I wrote the story of where I'm at now, trying to think of what my perfect day would be, and then also be in a situation where, I don't want my perfect day to involve me as a spinal cord injury. And so it kind of went on from there and talked about, I'd gotten this book from my spinal cord or my rehab doctor, and it's about 6 or 7 stories, maybe a little more than that, of spinal cord injuries who have lived life. Some of them even before spinal cord injury became something you could actually live with. Back in the day, spinal cord injuries were all expected to live for a certain amount of time. And with that technology, better understanding of it, they've been able to grow or live longer lives. And each story is a little different. They talk about how they deal with it. A lot of them talk about how they came to this idea of peace and understanding of where they were and how to deal with it. And I wasn't necessarily going along with what they were saying, because my obviously my experience is different than theirs. And so I was just kind of explaining how, for me, just coming to that idea that I'm being at peace with who I am was tough, because I want to be more, I'm saying? I want to be more than that. I want to walk, I envision myself walking again at some point, whether it's new technology, just being healed, or, whatever it may be. I envision myself walking again someday. And so kind of, through that explanation, I got to the end of the story, or the end of the ride, where I explained, well, I'm sure you know who Michael Jordan is. If you don't know who Michael Jordan, that's okay. But he would go against the team's best player when they would practice, so that he could continually get better himself. And a lot of times that wouldn't work, because his team, Michael's team, would still beat the other team, or beat up on the other team. And so the coach at a certain point would, in the middle of practice, switch Michael to the other team. And so then he would be on a deficit. And so I like that idea of being put a deficit. Not that I'm Michael Jordan or anything like that, although my initials are MJ. That I already got put at a deficit, in my life. So, if I could find ways to kind of make myself better, find little things that I could do that could, in a sense, maybe even the playing field a little bit better, that's what I was going to do. So at the end, I kind of came to this idea that rather than being at peace, I wanted to be able to continue to fight so that I continue to get better and find that perfect day, find that place where, I'm feeling challenged, I'm feeling, that I am continually progressing and I'm doing the best I can possibly do. I don't know particularly what about the right was so motivational or inspiring to people, but they commented on that, and whether it was about the right or about them knowing, because a lot of these people knew me, whether or not it was before the accident, after the accident, many years after the accident, so they didn't even know me before. And I think the other thing that was interesting about the right was that at a certain point I had been gone past the tipping point, where the tipping point for me was I had the accident, and so I grew 18 years, 0 to 18. So I had that life, and then I had the life where 18 to 20, 40, 42, 43 now. And so I've lived more life in the chair than I've lived, able-bodied. And so that kind of also has a perspective on it that I guess I didn't really recognize until afterward, but there's that too. So again, I really appreciate the comments that people had on there that were telling me how I was, an inspiration to them, and that I'm, very talented and stuff like that. And so it was really cool. I didn't expect that at all. I expected the right to kind of just go by, just like all the other rights that I've done in the past. But as I see now, it maybe feels like more interesting when you're talking about yourself, as someone that's reading what you're writing. So that's kind of what I got out of that. Again, I appreciate the people that commented. It was definitely very heartfelt. I really appreciated it, and I'll keep continuing on. I feel like that motivated me to continue to keep getting better and keep putting out content that is heartfelt, that is kind of from an honest perspective. And someone said transparent, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I was transparent on that, just kind of getting past all the bullshit and just kind of saying what was on my mind. Again, I think that right for me was something that I was really just not going to ever show, but I felt that I was going to just switch it up this past week and try something different. So yeah, hope everyone's off to a positive and productive week, and like we always do at this time, have a blessed day. See you on the flip side. Let's go.